Frederick Douglass penned the quote, "Without struggle, there's no progress." Now, to put this into context, as it pertains to the whole entrepreneur in general, and specifically navigating through pain to purpose, there's nothing that we can do without a struggle. Everything comes with a struggle. Everything comes with a price. And that is by design. God created things that we go through, or gave us obstacles, if you will, or steps that we needed to go through in order to get to. So we have to go through to get through. And we have to get through to get to. In business, there are going to be some hard times. We're going to have some high highs and some low lows. But through it all, we have to know how to press our way through. As I sat and I delved into deciding on how I would articulate my experiences as an entrepreneur. And when you look at the whole entrepreneur, you're not just looking at one aspect. You're looking holistically. Holistically means, what are you going through mentally? What are you going through physically? What are you going through emotionally? Now, I started my business in 2021, but God gave it to me in 2010, and I ran for 11 years. Some of you out there may have ran, or you may still be running from something that you know you're supposed to do out of fear. And what does fear oftentimes do? Fear, doubt, and shame, they're all coupled together, and they are able to silence you. And when you're silenced, you're stuck. Where did you get stuck? Did you get stuck in the blame game? Did you get stuck in the fear of the unknown? Well, today I want to discuss 3 strategies that will help you unpack where you got stuck. That will help you determine where you are, work through it, and then open the door for you to get to your next. Navigating through pain to purpose. How can I navigate through the hard times, the tough times, the gut-wrenching times to get through to where God wants me to be in business, in my finances, in my life? I call it the RTT. And that acronym stands for reclaiming your power, taking back your voice, and telling your story. How do we do that? I'm glad you asked. Step 1, reclaim your power. How can I reclaim that which I don't have? Sometimes we have what we need right in front of us and we miss it. Reclaiming your power. What's in your hand? How do I reclaim my power? I reclaim my power by going back to the basics. I reclaim my power by looking back over my life and checking to see, where did I find myself the most powerless for the first time? And you can think about that for yourself. Where did you find yourself at your most powerless point for the first time? Because for most of us, it has come around more than once. Now, there's some who've only dealt with that one time. And then there's a very, very small few who have never dealt with that. And great for you. I know without a shadow of a doubt that going through the process of brainstorming and figuring out, how did I become powerless in this? How do I have something so great down on the inside of me that I know will help to impact an audience that God has deemed as mine? But I'm powerless right now. How do I reclaim that power? A part of reclaiming that power is acknowledging that you don't have that power anymore, that you lost that power, that you were silenced in some way, shape, or form. How do I reclaim the power while I'm in my silence? Well, we got to go back to what it is that silenced you in the first place. What silenced you? Was it disappointment? Was it abuse? Was it divorce? Was it the loss of a loved one? Only you know what that is. And when you can figure out what exactly it was that silenced you in the first place, which rendered you powerless, then you can start peeling back the layers to taking back what once was yours. Okay? So we're going to reclaim our power today. We're going to reclaim our power, and we're going to stand in the fact that we were created specifically for a purpose. And the purpose that I was created for may be different than the purpose that you were created for, but we were all created for a purpose. Now, there's a process to get there. And so as I'm reclaiming my power, I'm putting off fear and I'm putting on confidence. I'm putting off doubt. I'm putting off anything negative, all the negative talk that we say to ourselves and all the things that other people say about us that we come into agreement with. Because they can say these things about you, but you don't have to come into agreement with it. But when you come into agreement with it, then you start to believe those things. It's not about what Sally or Joe says about you. What do you know about you? We got to reclaim that power. Reclaim your power by going back to understanding who you are and why you were created. Were you created to be a speaker? Were you created to be a teacher? Were you created to be a coach, an author, a doctor, a lawyer? What were you created to be? I'm reclaiming my power because there lies my passion and my purpose. And when passion and purpose collide, the power is combustible. So we're going to reclaim our power. Now to step 2. We're going to take back our voice. How do you take back something that you have not utilized in such a long time? How did you lose your voice in the first place? Did you lose your voice because of your position in your family? Were you the youngest in the family? You see so many times people that are in big families and they're the youngest. The older siblings and the older family members have a tendency of stepping up and speaking up for you as a way to look out for you. They don't mean any harm. But in the process, you lost your voice. You know, you lose your footing. So as they're taking up for you and they're defending you and they're protecting you in love, they're also hindering you because they've taken your voice away. You got to take back your voice. Take back what's yours. One way that you can take back your voice is look in the mirror and start affirming things over your life. I am somebody. I am successful. I will be, if you want to be a millionaire, a millionaire. If you want to be a thousandaire. If you want to be a billionaire, I will be a billionaire. If you want to be a doctor, I will be a doctor. If you want to be a mother, I will be a mother. If you want to be a father, I will be a father. You have to start affirming these things and using your voice to do it. How do I use my voice if I'm silenced? How can I get that back? How do I get that voice back that I was born with? Because we were born with a voice. And it's not just the sound that's coming out of my mouth. Your voice is your power. Your voice is your representation. You got to take back your voice so you can utilize it to have impact. I can't have an impact if I don't use my voice, because if my voice is stripped from me, I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to write, and I won't be able to help anyone. The object is to utilize your voice to make a difference in the world. So again, we are on step 2, and we're going to take back our voice so that we can use our voice in powerful ways to impact our audience, and in turn, impacting the world. Because one person that's a part of my audience might speak to a whole totally different audience. And that impact, that seed that I planted, will go on to be watered. So if I plant a seed to Sally, and she takes that seed and she waters it with Joe, you see how it's a domino effect? That's the power right there. So we're going to take back our voice, and we're going to learn to use our voice so that our voice can make a difference, so that our voice can leave a lasting impact, so that our voice can help somebody. You're going to take back your voice. How do I take back my voice? I'm going back to, what's my voice meant for? Why did God create me and give me this unique voice that he gave me? What is my voice? Is your voice to help those who were abused? Is your voice to help those who are in grief? Is your voice to help those who need legal help? Once you know what your voice was created to do, and you understand the importance of your voice, then you can go back to, okay, now I need to take my voice back so that I can implement some things and I can utilize my voice to make impact and a difference. Take back your voice. Step 3 is to tell your story. Tell your story. I need step 1 and step 2 in order to be able to complete step 3. There's a process to this. Is your story supposed to help people become whatever it is they're supposed to become? Do I use my story to help those that are in grief get over their grief? Whether it's on a stage, in the pages, wherever you are, in the sick room, if you're a nurse or a doctor in the medical field, if you're a firefighter, whatever it is that you desire to be and whatever it is that you were called to be, your story is valuable, and it's oh so important. When you share your story, you really are helping people. A lot of times we are ashamed to tell our story. We don't want to tell our story because we think people are going to judge us. People are going to judge you whether you tell your story or not. But when you are able to stand flat foot in your stuff and understand that you didn't go through what you went through for yourself, because that's not what happens. We don't go through for ourselves. Right? We go through to get through. But then we go through what we go through to help someone else get through to the other side. Tell your story. A lot of times we won't tell our story because we don't think it's significant. Tell your story. We won't tell our story because we feel like the next person's story is more relevant, or it's more important, or they've been through more. Tell your story. Why? Because your audience is waiting for you to tell your story. Your audience is waiting to hear from you. It's your story that could be the difference between someone committing suicide and choosing otherwise. Telling your story will heal you to be a better entrepreneur. That's what this is about. We want to be better businessmen and women. We want to be better people. We want to be better for our family. We want to be better for ourselves. We want to be better for our environment and for our communities. If you want to make impact, you have to first ensure that you actually share your story, because it's through your story that people will relate to you. Tell your story. So we've gone over 3 things: reclaiming your power, taking back your voice, and telling your story. You got to reclaim your power. You got to know what's yours and you got to own it. Take back your voice so that you can talk to people and make a difference, and tell your story so that you can have impact. Because not only will your story help to heal you and make you a better person and a better business person, but somebody's life might depend on it. RTT. Reclaim your power, take back your voice, and tell your story. Now, for those of you that are looking to share your story, if you are looking to write that book about your story, or if you're looking to write a book related to your business, my name is Heather Robinson, and I position people to identify their pain points so that they can begin the healing process by sharing their story through a book, on the stage, and through educating. I want to offer you something today. I want to offer a gift from myself to you today. If you will go to my website, that's www.anointed2write.com. That's anointed, the number 2write.com. And you subscribe to my website, you will get my free ebook. And in that ebook, it gives you the 5 steps to go from an aspiring writer to published author. Again, that's www.anointed, the number 2write.com. Thank you.
To get the replay of all of our speakers, as well as access to the workshops, go to theprofitsconference.com. theprofitsconference.com.